if you play a team sport, especially the high school and college kids, but if you could be an adult that also does sports competitions like marathons or triathlons, and you have to travel out of town, out of state, or even to a different country to compete, that travel can take a toll on your athletic performance. Long flights, trying to find public transportation or local transportation when you get there. Living in a hotel, eating food maybe that you're not used to. The hustle and bustle of trying to adjust to a new time zone can be really difficult. I mean, heck, I don't even basically compete in sports or exercise anymore, but I have to travel a lot. I live in Charleston, South Carolina, and I have to travel a lot to Los Angeles, and I'm exhausted after late night flights to LA, and then I get there and have to be at my best the next morning. So I know the toll that travel can take, and it can be even worse on athletic people who have to compete in whatever their sport or exercise is. I'm Dr. David Geyer, orthopedic surgeon and sports medicine specialist, and I provide education and commentary on all sorts of sports and exercise injuries, injury treatments, and injury prevention for athletes and active people, probably much like yourself, so that you can stay healthy and perform your best. You may have to travel. Sometimes it's great to travel to compete. You get to run a marathon in an exciting place. You get to compete against teams across the country and tournaments where there's a lot of prestige. There's great reasons to travel for sports competitions, but you need to prepare for that travel. So I want to share a few tips that hopefully can help you be rested and help you perform your best. Now, the first thing, let's just assume that you're traveling a long distance. This could be a bus ride of 8, 9, 10 hours. This could be a flight across country. You probably want to get up and move around periodically. Get some physical activity on the bus or on the plane. Get up and walk around a little bit. Do calf pumps to get the blood flowing, things like that, so that you're not in a cramped up location and you basically get off the plane or off the bus really tired. Now, one of the questions pertains to how you adjust to the new time where you're going. And the rule of thumb is pretty simple, albeit there's some different thoughts that go into it. But the thought is, for every time zone that you're traveling, you basically need to dedicate one day to get used to it. So if you're going from New York to Los Angeles and you're changing 3 time zones, ideally you'd like to leave 3 days ahead of time. Now, one of the things you can do even before you leave is the team can adjust, or if you're a runner, for instance, doing this on your own, you can adjust your training schedules based on the time of the competition in that local time. So if you're a California-based team, and let's say you're going to New York to play a game at 8 at night, you would start your training maybe for a week or 2 weeks before in California at 5 p.m., which is 8 p.m. Eastern time, so that your body's used to training at what will become your new training time. Now, I think that some of the other things that we talk about getting used to the time involve trying to eat on a regular schedule. Don't eat a lot of fatty foods and junk foods while you're going. Try to stick to your normal eating schedule. Maybe you avoid alcohol on your trip as much as possible, or certainly at least before the competition. Drink lots of water. All that can be really helpful. Also, we think that when you get to your new time zone, maybe you don't take naps right away on that first day. Start to get used to the new time zone as quickly as possible. The problem with going immediately to sleep is it reinforces your normal schedule, your normal sleep schedule based on where you live, not where you're competing, and so that can be really important as well. There's also some thought that going from West Coast to East Coast actually can be more detrimental. So in theory, you may even allow more time, but again, that's sort of controversial. There's also some thought that if you're only going to be gone for a day, maybe you stick to your home schedule and you don't adjust to the new time. So there's a lot of things to think about here. Certainly the duration of your trip plays a role. But I think if you think of those things on the front end, that can be really important. Another thing that's probably important is that once you get there, your body's still adjusting to the new time, the fatigue of travel. Maybe you make your first training session, or for your first couple training sessions, a little less intense to minimize your risk of injury. So from an injury prevention standpoint, for a performance performance enhancement standpoint, just some simple tips, getting exercise on the plane or bus, or getting some activity, eating well, avoiding alcohol, getting enough water, avoiding naps, trying to get on the sleep schedule right away, and giving yourself time to prepare for the new time zone. Those are some of the things that might help you perform your best when you're going to be competing many hours off your normal time and many hundreds of miles, thousands of miles away from home. Okay, what do you think? Do you have any other tips that you'd like to share to help people adjust to time zones, help people perform their best when they're traveling, avoiding jet lag? I'd love to hear those thoughts. So below this video, leave your comments. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure other viewers would love to hear what you have to say as well. And if you know people that travel for sports, travel for competitions, please share this video with them so that hopefully it can help them perform their best when they're on the road traveling across country, or maybe in another country. If you like videos like this and you want more information on sports and exercise injuries, injury treatments, and injury prevention, I record a couple of these videos every week and I upload them to my YouTube channel. So subscribe to my YouTube channel and I'll deliver them directly to you. And last, there's so many resources, not just videos, but podcasts, audio content, written content that I only share completely free, but share with my email list. So go to my website, drdavidgeyer.com, enter your name and email, and I'll deliver those directly to you. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Again, I'd love to hear your thoughts on tips to travel and perform your best, and I look forward to seeing you right here next time.